Hello everyone, welcome to this pick a card reading. So if you didn't see the one before this about how does your mother see you, this is now kind of part 2 of how does your father see you, but you don't have to watch both card readings. There won't necessarily be a message in both card readings for you, but I just thought if I did the mom, I probably should do the dad. So this one is for the dad. Alright, so as you can see, you only have 3 piles to choose from. So pile 1 is this circular piece of Septarian. I hope I'm saying that right, Septarian. Kind of an interesting crystal because I always think of it as a Mother Earth crystal. And then this is blue Lace Agate. I had it as an option in the last card pile, but I really just liked it, so I put it in again. And then pile 3 is this, I believe it's called pink, oh gosh, pink banded jasper, I think it was, or pink banded agate. I can't totally remember, but it was pink banded something. Because it has like these bands in it. Okay, so those are your 3 piles. So please remember to ground yourselves before you choose a card pile and really connect with the heart-centered energy. All right, without further ado, I'm gonna get into card readings. Hello, pile 1. So you chose the Septarian crystal. So let's start with the archetype cards that we got for how does your dad's higher self see you. We have the Spy Master, Knowledge, the Cartographer, Crossroads Exploration. We have Moose, and we have Buffalo for Abundance. And Moose was Authority. Okay, so it's interesting because I think actually on the last card reading, this card came up as well for the mom one. And here's a little bit of a different energy though. So how your dad's higher self sees you is very capable and independent, but I do see that there is some self-doubt here somewhere. Yeah, like I don't know quite how to say it. It's like it's almost like he's saying, like, I know you're capable of taking care of yourself, doing everything you need to do that, to provide for yourself. But then I see over here you doubting that you know what's best for you. And I see like his hand is open to release you and be like, here's the keys to the kingdom. Here, it's up to you. And I almost get the impression, I don't know if he's actually trying to hand something down to this pile. I don't know if your dad is trying to give you his business or give you a family house or something that belonged to the family, but I feel like he's trying to give you something. Maybe it's just your power back or your power of self-eternity, like setting you free though. I just keep getting that. And it almost seems like he feels like you aren't quite comfortable enough to take that step. Like, the reason why you're still there is because you haven't felt ready to leave. Sort of his parental protection almost, or something about his knowledge. I don't know, I'm not totally sure. But then I see too that he sees that you have so much, like when I see this exploration, I see that he sees that you have so much that you want to do in your life, and I really feel like there's so much you want to see, so much you want to experience. I think also see this for some reason of having lots of plans, like a bunch of different plans and different things you can do, and you're almost like pre-thinking up all these things you can do, and then being like, all right, I'll do this whole task. This is like, it's really good, like you're good at planning out things and then starting a whole nother plan. And it's not that you won't do that other plan, it's just like you just have so many plans that are backed up. So it's almost maybe like you have so many trips that you want to take or so many things you want to do, but then you almost get distracted by a new thing or something like that, or something else comes up. And that could even be why he's talking about like he's not super sure why you don't feel like you can go for it. So it's really interesting. It's almost like I would say your dad wants to know that he is okay with you pursuing that. Like if you're holding, like he doesn't really understand why you're holding back totally. But he doesn't want you to. He wants you to move forward, and he just like really sees that you are quite capable of taking care of yourself and making your own decisions. But they're not just like making your own decisions, like making really good decisions for yourself. Those are both very strong animals, very solid animals. So I really just see that, yeah, he just feels like you're very capable. You have enough tools in your tool basket or your toolbox to know how to handle whatever comes at you. So there's just like this lot of confidence in you. Very similar in that way to the last pile one, where I'm almost wondering if you just pick pile one for both piles, if you're watching both. And then for cards we have about what he would like to see moving forward for you. But I also felt like this might be a little bit forward in your relationship with your dad, is what I got for these cards. So it says self-acceptance, compassion, forgiveness, considered actions, looking forward, conscious steps, mindfulness, peaceful presence, quiet mind, and then family tree, expansion, and legacy. I honestly am like, I don't want to be biased, but I do think for this pile, I do think that your dad actually wants to see you with kids, specifically because he thinks you would be really good, a really good parent. I really, like, I almost even wonder if, I don't know if he was a bad dad or something like that, but I think he just sees that you'll do really well, that you'd be a really great parent, and you would, he just sees you as being, like, not repeating mistakes. You're really good at not repeating mistakes of, say, what he might have done, or onto you, or regrets or something. Like, I guess he just sees that you have so much potential. That's like a really good way to put it. Feels like you have so much potential, and I don't think he thinks you're gonna live with regret if you move forward. Yeah, if you do, like, I want to say, leave the nest and move forward on these plans, and pursue the life you want to live. Because here we go again with him really focusing on wanting you to kind of focus on your own future. So it's really interesting. I wonder if he has like a bad health, or if you worry he'll get lonely or something. And there's something here to, I feel like this pile almost doesn't want to leave their dad. Like they feel guilty or something, but the dad is like, no, like, I don't want you to worry about me. I don't want you to stay behind. I don't want you to make yourself small. I want you to go out there in the world and make the most of it and enjoy it and make your own family and have your own experiences. And yeah, just go out there and be, live. And it's so interesting because the forgiveness card, yeah, it makes me wonder if like his health hasn't always been great or something like that. It's almost like he doesn't want you to feel like you need to stay behind for him. He keeps saying that. Stay behind for him. He wants you to be able to go forward and live your life. I almost wonder if some people who are watching this pile, if your dad is sick, or if he, some cases, maybe even passed away, and you're like doing his business, you're keeping what he had going. But I feel like if that's the case, and this could be very specific, there is like a thing like, don't feel bad. Don't live his life if you don't want to live it. Go live your own. And I even think that's why there's peaceful presence, quiet mind. I almost feel like there's a message here about him really wanting to like ask yourself, what is it that you want? What does your heart really, really want to do? And I almost feel like he's saying like it's clear. And if you could dream of any possible future for yourself that didn't involve doing what he's done or what you thought he wanted you to do, what would it look like? And I almost feel like I see all these clouds because I feel like he's just saying like, create anything. You can be anything. The whole point of living isn't to just follow his footsteps. It's to become your own person, live your own life. So this is a really interesting message for this pile. Yeah. So another thing, I can't stop looking at these yellow roses here, um, that this angel's holding, Archangel Sadikiel, and I'm like, I feel like it just is so important. So I just looked up the spiritual meaning of yellow flowers, and it says the essence of life, positivity, the promising charm of new beginnings. And they also are here to affirm your life power. So I don't know. I think that's just the big thing I pulled from that is just the new beginnings and just the promise of being able to do whatever you want and not being limited. I really feel like this is what your dad wants for you. So I think this could be a big thing, like a big conundrum you've had about feeling like maybe you should be doing a certain thing. For him on his behalf or something like that, and I really see kind of the opposite messages coming through here where it's saying like really just move on and do what you want to do, live the life you want to live. So if your dad did pass away and you're like, he said the exact opposite right before he died, I almost wonder if that's why the forgiveness piece is coming through. He's like, it almost feels like being able to see things clearer now, like not like knowing that life is about making it your own, experiencing what you want to experience, and not just doing what someone else tells you should do because they feel like you should be doing it. You know, that's not really living. And then also, you might have been drawn to the Septarian crystal because it is a healing stone and a protective stone. So, yeah, I feel like there's something to that because both these animals, like a buffalo and a bison, feels very protective to me. I don't have any reason to say that other than the fact that I just, seen them in real life and they're huge and they do kind of stay in herds so that they have like protection amongst each other. And I don't know, I just feel like you have a lot of that energy around you. A lot of energy of protection around you. You know what? These are all the cards that I had pulled, but I am going to pull a few from the Whispers of Love deck. And I'm just going to ask if there's anything else your dad would like you to know. All right, sorry about that. My battery died kind of at that same moment. So I pulled Get to Know Each Other, Learn to Meet Another's Needs for Love, Appreciate This Moment, Every Situation is an Opportunity to Grow and Find Love, and Honesty is Essential, Speak with Love and Truth. And then we have another forgiveness card. So there's two forgivenesses. Nothing is gained by holding on to past disappointments. So yeah, I feel like there's some forgiveness piece. When I first try to tune in a little bit, I can't help but feel like you did have arguments in the past. Maybe it was when you were young. Or maybe continue until you're an adult, but I do feel like there was arguments about what you should do with your life, like career-wise. And it's even funny because maybe you wanted to travel and he was like, no, you need to get a job, you need to go to school, you need to do this. And I almost feel like there's a recognition on your dad's behalf that isn't everything to life. And I feel like it's just like forgiveness of, if you did have those arguments, of him pushing that so much and him thinking that was the most important thing. Yeah, but also there's also something around here where I think there's like another layer where I think some here are saying it didn't do him any favors to stay angry at the world or to be bitter about something or resentful about something in the world, and he doesn't want to see you making the same mistakes he did. And that, I think that's just like someone else's dad saying that. So just take that one as you will. But this does feel like for him like things he learned and really wants to see you take away as being important. So spending time with loved ones and cherishing them, that's really big. I feel like he's saying like this is everything, and being honest with the people you love and being truly who you are. And I almost feel like he wished he would have been more romantic. He wished he would have done more romantic gestures and put more priority on specifically like a partnership love. That feels like a big regret for him. that now he's like saying, don't make the same mistake I did. And speak with love and truth. So being more vulnerable and not so hard on this outside, maybe is the word I want to use there. Appreciate this moment. Every situation is an opportunity to grow and find love. Yeah, I feel like this is another thing too, where he's really saying like, don't get caught up again in that past energy. Just be in the moment. Appreciate what you have. Don't worry about the future. Don't always be scared about what's coming or what could happen. Just appreciate what you have and just enjoy life. Like, it's funny, it's like, it seems so obvious, but it's almost like he said, I didn't learn this. I know people say that, but I didn't really get it, and now I've learned it, and it's like he really wants you to know that as well. Another interesting thing you can notice, we have 44, 33 here, a couple of reoccurring numbers. I really like that. And you know what, it's funny, I'm like blanking on what Archangel Zadkiel does again. I feel really silly about it. I feel like it's some kind of growth or something like that. So I'm just gonna quickly look him up here. Here we go. It says Zadkiel is the angel of compassion and forgiveness, and he brings an important message about your attitude towards yourself. If you tend to be too hard on yourself or relive your past mistakes with shame and self-reproach, Zadkiel showers you with the light and love of self-forgiveness. This card reminds you how your self-perception influences your energy. If you're quick to fault yourself, your energy becomes darkened with your own disapproval, and that darkness returns to you. But Zadkiel is a supremely loving being, and he's longing for you to forgive and accept yourself, no matter what you may have done in the past. Treat yourself with compassion and be encouraging in your self-talk. You're a child of God, and you deserve your own loving acceptance just as you are. And his affirmation is, I completely release the past and I forgive myself and others. So I feel like that's really important because it did come up twice. Or at least it was really important to your dad. Okay, I know that one was kind of short and sweet, but I think that's where I'm going to leave it. I hope this brought some kind of closure or clarity to you, and you found a little bit of something you were looking for when you clicked on this card reading. So just wishing you the best, and yeah, I hope you have a great day or night, whatever it is for you. Hello, pile 2. So you chose the blue Lace Agate. And we're first going to look at how your dad's higher self sees you. So we have Otter and Black Panther. And then we have the Founder, the Painter, and the Astronomer. Okay, I'm starting to think these piles are very similar to the mom reading pile. Yeah, but we'll see. Okay. Let's see what's going on here. Okay, so definitely similar to the other card reading, where I feel like the father sees you as someone who is very... His way of seeing you is quite different in some ways, though. It's like he sees you as very structured. I think it would be the right word. Very structured. And even like how you have your life feels very structured. So when I'm looking at this Founder card, this Foundations and Community, you feel like I see that here's the community, and then this is you kind of on the other side of the wall of the community. So it's almost like he sees you as keeping your distance from other people, and yeah, being very structured in how you do things. And then the astronomy thing, I just can't help but wonder if this is just who you are. You really, really like stars. You really like outer space. Maybe you feel like you're from outer space. Maybe that's why this keeps coming up when associated with this stone. But yeah, I feel like that it's like this parent sees you have a deep fascination with the space. And I think this does talk about, yeah, I think you really are so different from them. Um, yeah, I think you still are. I think there's definitely the same energy of not totally understanding who you are, but understanding that you are just quite different. And this is so interesting. The thing that is different though is I feel like this father energy sees also that you're following your passion. I think this is something you are doing again, where you're following your passion. The let go of control thing. I wonder if it's like your in your hobbies, you've really started to follow a passion. You've brought in a new hobby, you brought in a new interest. But if every other area of your life he still sees you as maybe keeping it too neat and tidy is almost the word I would use for it. He almost feels like he's like you have this compartment for work, house, living. Actually, it's more like this is like your home. Things don't really come into your home. Your home is very private. It's away from everyone else. I don't think it's literally away from everyone else. You just don't bring anyone in there very much. And then I see like then you have like your actual, I think, work, which you keep kind of private as well. And I don't think you like maybe have work friends. I don't think you do that. I think you keep it very like work people or people you work with, you don't do other things with. And then this astronomer, I feel like it's saying like then you keep your hobbies and your deeper interests kind of like to yourself. So but it feels all categorized very neatly. And then yeah, and then it's like then your dad it's just, it feels like he just wants you to kind of break that rule system. He's like, I want to see you without all these like compartments for things. I want you to see you just do what you want to do and not have to keep things so tidy and orderly. But I'm almost like, I think he feels like you've done it as a protection thing. And I think it's because of this outsider energy. I think he might have had that in common with you. I think he felt a little bit weird and a little bit different. And he might have also have kind of put things in like safety places. Like I don't take anyone home. I don't mix work in this and I don't mix that in this. So I think it's almost why it like bothers him a bit. I think it bothers him a bit because he kind of see that maybe you like adapted to what he adapted to. But I wonder if your dad grew out of this after you got older. So I wonder if while you were a kid, like a child, say from until you were like 12 or 14, your dad was kind of like this, and then you sort of are just repeating it. You're mirroring what you were taught or what you thought. And I think after you got older, I think your dad broke out of this a bit, got more out of his shell. But the thing is that's not how you knew him most, right? Like you learned the most when you were younger from him. So yeah, there's something there. Very interesting. This pile definitely thinks very differently than I do, so I feel like it's almost a little bit tricky for me to read the energy, because I'm almost, once again, same thing with the last pile who chose this. I'm just like, I'm surprised you're watching a pick a card reading. Everything about your energy doesn't really necessarily align with this, so I'm like, how did you find this card reading? Who are you? I can tell you don't quite compute with it, but I mean, you must be, because I'm doing a card reading on it, so something's happening there. You'll maybe have to explain it to me because I'm not really sure how you found yourself in this situation. Maybe you have a girlfriend or a friend or a boyfriend or something like that who's really into this and they're like, watch this card reading, I think it's about you. Or they're just like, you should watch a card reading, and now you're watching this and you're like, what the F is happening? How do you know what I'm thinking? This is so creepy. This is weird. I feel like you wouldn't even think about it in that sense. That's me still putting in my own words about how you would be thinking, because I think you just think quite differently from myself. It feels more organized, I would say. I feel like your thoughts are more organized, where mine are more scattered, and I just put the emotion in, where I feel like you're kind of more disciplined in your mind, which is kind of cool. Okay, anyways, so these were the cards that I had chosen for kind kind of what your dad wanted to see change for you, or kind of what they wanted to change in the relationship. But I think for this pile, it's more what he wanted to see change for you. So thoughts, vibration, resonate, choices, signature signals. This is interesting. I feel like there's a thing about, I wonder if this pile can get a little bit depressed. Depressed, anxious, kind of like lower emotions that can kind of put you into like shutting things out. And I almost wonder if this is coming from your dad's higher self. So I wonder if he struggled a little bit with this more than he is kind of perceiving. His higher self isn't really letting on to it. But I almost feel like he did struggle with a little bit depression and these same lower emotions as you did. And I feel like what he's saying is like, you really learn that if your thoughts are thinking low, then you start to feel low. And it's really learning the awareness of the subconscious mind, I believe. And then it's almost even saying like, say if you say, I'm weird, people think I'm weird, I'm too awkward to be around them. People don't understand me. People are like bothered by me. Like there's some kind of language around that. They're saying then that's what you're going to see in those situations, because your perspective is looking for that. And we can always find what we're looking for in a situation, right? So I almost feel like your dad's advice is like, just go, what if everyone else isn't paying as much attention to me as they think they are? What if they're all just in their own worlds worrying about the same thing? And I almost feel like that would bring some like relief from you. Because all of a sudden you're like, oh, I can see other people are nervous and uncomfortable and are doing weird things that I do. And it's almost like self-sabotaging, but it's in such a different way than I usually see it. It's almost like self-sabotage in social situations. Specifically, this is all about social situations, not about food, I don't think, or other things like that. Connection sabotage. Abundant success. I keep thinking of the Wizard of Oz, Follow the Yellow Brick Road. Which I think kind of goes back to this passion thing. Follow where your heart wants to go, and doesn't have to be organized. It can just be like, oh, I'm going to start going down this path. I changed my mind. It's turning into a different sort of path, and just be very okay with it. Yeah, and not being worried about, oh, well, I started doing this. Shouldn't I finish it? It just isn't for you anymore. It's totally fine. There's something around that. Yeah, I can't really put my finger on it though. Shamanic healer, cleansing, attunement, journey guide, travel, change in location. Wow, I'm so drawn to the air balloons and like air things. I mean, I guess there's a plane over there, but I'm like, ooh, something about parachutes really resonates with this file. Maybe because that's kind of like the most opposite thing you can do from this energy of like keeping things safe and controlled. I feel like just jumping out of a plane, or doing something kind of reckless but not reckless. Like, you're not just gonna go jump out of a plane by yourself. You do it with a trained professional, but there's like that spontaneity. That's what it is. Your dad like would love to see more spontaneity in doing things that I think normally would have felt a little out of your realm, out of your box to do. But also travel and change in location. I do think this is him even saying like, you've made these comfortable places, but I don't know if you're really crazy about them. Like your house, I feel like it's like you feel like an outsider there anyways, like no one around there you really like. So I almost feel like it's saying, well, move, go to the place that your heart wants to take you. If that's in another part of the world, then go there, be there. What is the point in wasting your life in this place where you're on the outside anyways? And then this thing too, I can't quite put my finger on what he is talking about for cleansing and attunement. Shamanic healer. What is going on? I do feel like my natural instinct is to talk about more maybe having connection with outside, with literally, I don't want to say mountains, but like animals, with just other living things that aren't humans. I feel like you can feel more at oneness with them, a comfort with them. So it's almost like if you like going outdoors, I feel like it's because you feel more at peace there. It's funny because the outdoors aren't very quiet. Like if you're someone who connects with nature spirits or energy spirits, they're all quite noisy. So it's funny that you go out there to find peace and quiet, but you're actually kind of subconsciously hearing the most noise, but it's not noise to you, it's comforting. It's, I don't know, it's really something interesting going on. Why can't I put my finger on it? Okay, you know what? I am just going to read from the guidebook what this card has in store for you, because I don't feel like this pile is going to go down a shamanic healer route where you will become that. So I feel like there's another message here. So I'm just going to read from the guidebook to see what this card was originally even supposed to mean. So it says, the shamanic healer brings you a beneficial energy and a personal or professional news. Some form of healing is coming your way. If you're dealing with physical issues, the shaman is here to help. Difficulties of an emotional or psychological nature can be remedied. There we go. Sorry, I did that thing where like dashed it because it didn't fit in the one page. Remedied through your connection with this powerful spirit guide as well. Even community or familial concerns can be resolved. Meditate on the issue or the part of the body that may be problematic. Call upon the shaman to bring the internal spirit, the divine healer, to you, and see or sense this power filling you up, clearing the problem, and bringing radiant light to your physical, mental, or emotional body. Ask this healing spirit to give guidance on what you can do to resolve this issue. Since the shaman often engages in ceremonial ritual, your process may be aided by lighting a candle, playing music, or burning incense or sage during your meditation. And the affirmation is, I open my heart, mind, and body to the energy of the shamanic healer. Divine consciousness fills every cell, every thought, and every area of my life. You know what? After even seeing the energy, I wonder if you're also just learning to open up to this, to the magic, the magic of life, the magic of energy healing even. Because the thing I keep getting drawn in is all the energy here and all the energy there. So yeah, I wonder if there's just some really weird new perspective that's coming in for you that's kind of feeling a little weird, a little new, but I wonder if it's just gonna just be part of that new journey you're heading on. I'm not super sure. Yeah, okay. I know this one was short, but it seems like the dad card readings are going quick, so I guess they do say men statistically say half the amount of words as women. They say it more simply and direct is the theory, so let's just roll with that, and hopefully you got whatever you were looking for when you first clicked on this card reading. If not, just leave it on YouTube and go about your day. All right, hope you guys have a good one. Hello, pile 3. So you chose the piece of banded lace, I think it's Agate. So I'll put it there. And let's first look at how your dad's higher self sees you. So we have the sleeper, clarity, the king, the botanist, parenthood, legacy. And then we have the coyote, wise fool, and we have the whale, soul's path. So it says, accept your follies and find the teaching in them. Honor your soul's purpose. You know what? It's so funny. I did not think there'd be the same energies in each pile, but I wonder if the same people who watched the mom's reading are actually watching the dad's reading and even choosing the same number in the pile order. It just seems like that from what I can see, but you're looking at the dad's perspective instead of the mom's. So yeah, I feel like this one, it feels directly related to the other pile 3, where I do see especially with the wise fool and this king card again, where I feel like, I'm like, should I just explain everything again? Maybe I won't explain everything from that perspective. I'll just kind of say how your dad's seeing you. So, yeah, what I do see is so your dad saw you at first as maybe maybe before you kind of got into a situation where you might have overly trusted someone and then they took advantage of that, or they might have like pushed you to your limits too far and it took you until a big thing happening to realize it. I see the sleeper, I see it's like your dad said, like he saw, he kind of thought it was like he just couldn't see the whole thing. Like I really feel like that's just perfect. Like were you just like asleep in the situation? I feel like he's kind of like, how are you not seeing what's going on? How are you letting people do this to you? And these are all like the small things. But then I see he says like eventually how he sees you now is that you are, like it says, the wise fool. Like, yes, you made a mistake. Yes, you trusted the wrong people. Yes, you trusted and were loyal to people to a fault almost. But he's saying like he just knows you're not going to make the same mistake. So I really want to make it clear that he also is not saying you're stupid, you're foolish, you're dumb bum. He's not saying any of that. He's actually saying like, it's like to him, it's almost like he learned these lessons younger himself. So he's like, why aren't you doing so, like, why are you still hanging around with this crew? Why are you still listening to what they have to say? Why are you letting them talk you into shit? I feel like that's his way of saying things. And it's interesting, parenthood came up and legacy. Oh, this one's so interesting. I almost see it as if like he's saying like he wanted to protect you and hold you and keep you safe and wanted you to keep being able to be loyal, be kind, be so sincere, be so trusting of people. But I almost feel like he's saying like maybe he like allowed you to grow up being too naive, maybe allowed you kind of like, I guess he's almost taking accountability, like you learn from your parents, and if he didn't like kind of warn you that people could be like this, then he's like, how would you have known? So I almost see him saying like there's a piece of like, I'm sorry, I wanted to keep you, you know, like not bitter, not resentful of the world, but then by doing that, I think there's almost like a message here saying you had to learn the lesson the hard way. So wise fool, you're not going to make that mistake again. And the soul's path, honor your soul's purpose. I think this is where it's coming back to, where like that other pile was saying like they know you're gonna be more than this. Like they know that this sucked and this was a huge setback for you. This thing that happened where you kind of felt used or someone scammed, something going on there. By these other people, but they're saying like you're not going to make that mistake again, and you're going to move forward stronger, and you're going to move forward, and this isn't going to stop you from living your life. That's a really big thing. Your parents really believe in you. They really see you got a great head on your shoulders, and that you aren't going to be one of the people who are resentful of the world and just, you know, like not get back up. Like I really like the soul's path. You're just capable of such a big, long journey, and this is just part of it. It even says, accept your follies and find the teaching in them. Very big on not getting stuck on that. I keep saying it because I feel like they're so big on it. They probably even said this to you in real life with how much they're saying it through these card readings, I would think. So maybe that's even why like the dad's card readings are moving pretty quick, but I actually feel like everyone just picked the same pile again, so that's probably why. As they did in the mom reading. Sorry, I should finish that sentence for you in case you don't know what I'm talking about. So these were cards I pulled for what they want to see you move through or move into. And it says Angels of the Seven Chakras, Power, Truth, Connection. Soulful appreciation, currents of emotions, uncontrolled feelings, creation, soul expression, something new, inactivity, isolation, emotional desert. It's so interesting because if you do watch the mom reading and you watch pile 3, I kept saying, I see that your mom sees that you are now a seed that's going to grow stronger than ever before. And isn't it interesting that your dad had about as close to the same card he could get in another card deck here, where it's like something new, going and growing so much stronger because of it. Like I feel like it's a wildflower. Like, and a wildflower grows so much stronger than a flower that just grows indoors. Well, I guess you can't quite see these pictures quite as well, but yeah, it's like a lady watering it. And even like the watering can is yellow, which is all about like the ego and the confidence, solar plexus energy. So it's really interesting. It's like being watered by that. Its value. It's almost like it knows its value better now, actually. And same thing over here. It's almost like saying soulful appreciation. So it's almost like the lesson you learned. That would suck because I really feel like this pile like got scammed, lost money or something like that. It's like I was saying in the other one too, where I see both your parents are so confident that you're going to do better yet. Like, this first opportunity sucked, but you're going to do even better because they just see your potential is so great. You're so capable. And even like they were saying, like, you get knocked down, you're not going to make the mistake again. You're not gonna be a fool. You're a wise fool. You're not gonna be a fool because a fool makes the same mistake again and again, and you're not gonna do that. You're just not like that. You grow and you're smart. So I really feel like it's funny with the soul's path and this card here. It's really, your dad really says like it was a great lesson to learn, since I feel like he's almost like, since I don't like, he doesn't feel like he taught you it. It's a good lesson for you to have learned with this smaller amount, which still feels like a lot. But they said in the long run, like they both are seeing this, and I almost wonder if, because it's coming from their higher self, it is coming maybe from like that perspective that can see beyond the timeline, that they're like, you're going to make so much more money in the future. You're going to make so much more and have so much more in the future, that it's as hard as it is to believe right now, the amount that you lost is really going to be not very much compared to what you could lose in the future if you hadn't learned this lesson. So like, it was the same analogy of you might lose millions or billions in the future, but instead you just lost hundreds or thousands in this go around, which is still hard. There's definitely something here where they're like, we understand it's not hard, and that it is hard, sorry. And it's even why they talk about this growth and appreciating and feeling out the emotions. So what he wants to see you move out of is emotional desert. I feel like this is this is isolation. So he's recognizing too that you're pushing everyone away, which is understandable because of this wounding that happened, and it felt really, really deep for you. But he's saying, like, you know, it's like that's gonna keep you down, is almost like the words he's using. That's gonna keep you down, and then you lose. But if you get back up, then you can still win. And then the currents of emotion, uncontrolled feelings, he's really talking about just feeling those out. Feeling those emotions. Do not stuff them and do not isolate yourself. Just go through the waves of emotions. Some days you might be really mad. Some days you might be really sad. Some days you might feel devastated. But he's like, it's just part of the process. And he just keeps coming back to like, you're gonna do so much better and you're growing so much from this. And there's still like that boundaries thing. You really know your value and your worth from this. And the angels of 7 chakras, power, truth, connection. So the connection thing does make me think about knowing that you still have good people out there who you can trust. You just won't give them so much trust as you did before. It's like funny. It's like hard to explain that balance after someone's just been wounded so badly. But, you know, there's like a balance between trusting someone, not to the point with your life, maybe is it, with your everything you have. And the other thing, I almost feel like your dad's like, meditation could benefit you. I think he actually, I don't know if this is just a higher self thing or if he actually does this in real life, but like a form of being silent and going within and balancing your chakras, I think, would be really beneficial. So it's almost like if you could do a 10-minute guided meditation where you just see that chakra expanding and going to the right color, and then moving on to the next and expanding and growing the right color, and doing that all the way up to clear out some of that block, because this is kind of a trauma, right? This is actually kind of a trauma. So there is going to be some heart chakra closing. There's going to be some root chakra closing problems, not feeling safe in the body. There's probably a lot going on in the solar plexus, because I think you feel kind of like a fool from this. I mean, I don't want to put words in your mouth, but I feel like because it's come up twice and neither card actually, well, this card actually does say fool, but the other one didn't, and I kept feeling like you feel like that. There's kind of like a thing to explore. Yeah, so sorry, if you did watch both, you kind of got a lot of the same information. I'm going to just pull some of the Whispers of Love cards for this pile from your dad. About, I think once again, about a kind of like advice on what a father would pass on to his dad for advice, if you're listening, while he has your ear. There we go, that's what I was trying to say. Okay, we have Turn on Your Heart Light, Miracles and Blessings, Romance, Simple Acts of Kindness. Okay, so like I said, this is advice that he would like to give you while he has your attention. So turn on your heart lights. So this is kind of going back to both your parents have talked about not shutting down and shutting everyone out, even though that's like the natural response you want to have. I mean, they keep telling me you can trust them. So, I mean, you have to use your own discretion with that because I don't know your situation, but they keep saying, you can trust them. And they both have talked about it. Here it says, reflect on a time when you experienced love. They're both talking about making sure that you distinguish for yourself those red flags and being like, okay, what did these friends do or this person do that was like a sign that something wasn't right, and looking back at them, because they keep saying like you're gonna close everyone off if you don't know how to distinguish the red flags and who is trustworthy and who is not, and they don't want to see you do that. They just see you as so much potential, so much youthfulness, so much opportunity left in your life. They're like, don't become a bitter person, don't shut down. That is such a big thing for both your parents, for you. Miracles and blessings, I think they're even saying like I just see so many opportunities here, but it's once again same energy of like you have so much potential. Like you don't think you might have thought the opportunity you had was once in a lifetime, but they're saying no, like they can't take that away from you. You are the one who creates these opportunities and miracles in your life, just by being you, by being like clever, and by being as resourceful as you are and intelligent. Like you've got a lot going for you, so don't shut down. Romance, lavish the one you love with personal attention and affection. I think this is actually talking about yourself here and making sure that you're not beating yourself up, but you're still taking care of yourself. You're still doing good things for yourself. So I literally think this is like making sure you still take care of you, do self-love things. So maybe you like to go to the gym or you like doing a sport. Don't not do that because you're punishing yourself. Don't, you've already been hurt. You don't need to also beat up on yourself, right? And then simple acts of kindness. I actually think this is because this is how your dad sees you. He's like, you're just so sweet. You are such a good person. You're such a great person. And they see that your heart is really tender. I just see, it says, kindness energizes you and brings happiness to those around you. Like this is who you are. You're not meant to be someone who's cold-hearted and, armored up and like doesn't let people in. And it's saying, well, you're not going to just make this mistake again with anyone, right? Like, don't totally shut everyone out and don't feel like you have to be, like armored, stonewalled or something, because you really do enjoy making someone smile and doing nice things. So that's just like your advice from your dad. Okay, this is where you think I'm going to leave it. Yeah, you might want to check out the mom reading pile 3 because like I said, I feel like I got the exact same energy. If you feel drawn to that, and you know what, I hope you found something that you were looking for, some clarity here. The overall message is both your parents see how wonderful you are, and they don't think any less of you, and they know you're gonna have so much more life ahead of you. So they just such a big message from them.